Okay, so guys, here we are. We're drawing the diagrammatical cases, and we'll start from the basic diagram. That is the diagram of demand. I'll just write down the heading at the first place. Cases of diagrams. So as far as diagrams are concerned, there are many different diagrams that we can make in AS level economics. The first diagram will be a normal downward sloping demand diagram. Okay, as you can see, I'll just draw the diagram right beneath the heading. Okay, we'll make it quick. Firstly, the two axes, downward sloping demand, derivation of basic price and quantity, showing a change of price and quantity. Now we'll do the labeling. Firstly, labeling the axis price, then labeling the axis quantity demanded. Labeling the demand curve, this is point A, this is price, this is quantity demanded. When there is an increase in price, movement from point A to point B, the quantity demand falls. And when there is a fall of price, the quantity demand increases. That's basic demand diagram. We're done with diagram number 1. Then you have diagram number 2, that is the diagram of supply. Okay, we'll make a supply diagram again real quick. Here we are with the diagram. Firstly, we're going to draw the two axes, upward sloping supply curve, taking out the price and quantities, showing the change, but I haven't yet mentioned labeling, so we'll do it right now. First of all, label the axes, prices and quantity. Supplied, this is a supply curve, point A, basic price, basic quantity supply. When there is a rise of price, this increases the quantity supply as well due to its positive relation. And when the price falls, the quantity supply falls as well because the producers are not willing and able to supply due to lower profit margins. We're done with the demand and the supply diagram. Now we're gonna move on towards our third diagram, that is an equilibrium diagram. Okay, so we're gonna just draw the diagram at the first place. The two axes are there, downward sloping demand, upward sloping supply, resulting in an equilibrium due to which the market price named as P, market quantity named as QT, and the equilibrium named as point E is determined. This is basically supply, this is demand. I'll label it prices, I'll label it quantity traded. We're done with equilibrium diagram. Moving towards case number 4, that is a disequilibrium diagram. Again, doing it real quick as we're done with the basics of how to draw a diagram. So this will be disequilibrium case number 1. That is the case of shortage. Okay, this is shortage. The two axes at the first place, the two axes at the first place, downward sloping demand due to its negative or an inverse relation, upward sloping supply due to its positive or a direct relation, derivation of basic market equilibrium, the quantity traded, supply and demand labeling, basic labeling of prices and quantity traded on the axes. Now there is a shortage. So when does a shortage result? It results when there is a rise of quantity demand and a fall of quantity supply. Quantity demand being greater than quantity supply. So here it is, drawing down the price line. When you reduce the price from P to P1, you face a disequilibrium, which I've drawn here. As you can see, the equilibrium is moving from point E to point A and point E to point B. Point A suggests the interaction of price and supply. So this derives a quantity supply which is reduced due to a fall of price. And point B shows the interaction of the price line with the demand. So I'll just write quantity demand here, which has increased due to a fall of price, as you can see here. We're done with the case of shortage. Moving towards this equilibrium. Again, this is case number 4 carried forward, but I'll just write down the heading once again. Equilibrium, the case of surplus. Okay, first of all, we'll just draw the two axes, the price and the quantity axis, downward sloping demand, upward sloping supply, resulting in an equilibrium due to which the market price and quantity traded are determined. We'll just complete with the labeling at the first place. That's that's done. Labeling is done. Now, what is basically a surplus? Quantity supply being greater than quantity demanded. When would you supply more? When there is a rise of price. So here I'll just increase the price from P to P1. When I increase the price, I can see that the equilibrium has converted into two disequilibrium points named as A and B. A point shows the interaction between price and demand. So this will be quantity demanded, which will reduce due to a rise of price, as you can see. And point B shows the interaction of price with supply, which shows the quantity supply that is going to increase due to a rise of price. Now here, I'm just going to shade the area of shortage. That's the area of shortage. And that is going to be the area of surplus. I hope that's clear to you guys. Moving forward, now we're done with this equilibrium, and both the two cases will be moving towards case number 5. Now, case number 5 is an equal the case number 5 will be in an equilibrium situation, show an increase in demand and supply with an equal percentage. This means that you're gonna increase the demand and supply with the same area, with the same proportion. Okay, so I'll just make the case right away. First of all, prices and quantity traded, downward sloping demand, upward sloping supply, resulting in an equilibrium due to which the market price and quantity traded are determined. Completing the labeling as we do as always because it has marks. Now, the case states that you're supposed to increase the demand and supply. So that's the equilibrium. You're supposed to increase the demand from D to D1. You just measure the distance with the scale, okay? And now what you're going to do is you're going to increase the supply with the same proportion as well. You can see the distance of shift of supply must be equal to the distance between the two demand curves. You can see this keeps the price unchanged. The equilibrium moves from E to this point, but here we won't be making an equilibrium as the diagram is not completed yet. This point moves downwards, and now this is the new equilibrium where S1 and D1 intersect. Moreover, this is going to determine the new quantity traded in the market. So how does this took place? We'll just understand it. How did this took place? When you increase the demand, listen to me very carefully. When you increase the demand, the prices increases, the quantity increases. Now, there is a increase of supply as well. The fact here is supply and demand both are increasing at the same proportion. So the increase of price due to a rise of demand is there. We can see here the price eventually increased at the first place. But now, as the supply increases, the price is going to fall. We need to consider the fact that both supply and demand are increasing at the same percentage. So the percentage change of price will also be the same, keeping the price effect nullified. You can see the price effect is nullified. Okay. I'll just write it here so that you are able to understand in a better way. Demand increases, increasing the price and quantity. Supply increases with the same proportion as demand. The price falls with the same proportion as it rose earlier, but the quantity increases. So we can see the quantity is increasing twice, but the price is increasing and decreasing. This increase and decrease of price makes the impact of price nullify. This is a nil effect on price, okay? And this is what we can see in the diagram. I hope you've understood it. And now we're going to end this class. We'll start with another one. Till then, take care. Goodbye.